I passed all 4 CPA exams at 19 in one try. Here are my top tips. First and foremost, this is a long test, so if you can get it all done or at least a couple tests out the way before you start working, your future self will thank you. Also, a lot of firms give bonuses if you pass within your first year, so it has some financial benefits as well. Here's my second tip. If you're in California, you can actually take the exam 6 months before you graduate as long as you meet the requirements by the time you graduate. I took audit during the winter quarter of my final year and only studied 2 weeks before taking the exam during winter break. It helps when you're in school mode and you spend an entire quarter learning the tests. Now for actual studying tips, you should always try to understand the why rather than blindly memorizing a bunch of random facts. Now there's some things that you just have to memorize, but core accounting concepts like debits and credits, accruals versus cash, tax principles should become intuitive by the time you take the test. If not, your foundation will be shaky and you will feel less confident. After taking my audit exam, I had only 2 weeks to study and take BEC. Instead of flipping through the textbook, I just went straight to the multiple choice questions and simulation tasks and just grinded those out. You should have some familiarity with most of the concepts from your courses in college, and I only looked up the textbooks for concepts I haven't seen or needed a refresher on. I took 90% of the multiple choice questions before my test and got about 60% of the simulation tasks done. I always say don't skip on the sims, even though it's probably the worst part of studying, because if you do, you will question yourself when you come out of the exam. Lastly, just get some good sleep and physically write the notes. Like, you can highlight all you want, but there's some study out there that shows you remember things better if you physically write it out. So lock in, get some sleep, and if you guys want to hear more, I'll share with you guys in a future video. Thank you.
Let's talk about what is a CPA, what they do, and how you could potentially become one. So in Canada, a CPA is a chartered professional accountant. These professionals are licensed by a state board to provide accounting services to the public. So a CPA would typically perform accounting services such as tax preparation, auditing, and consulting. In Canada, the pathway to become a CPA varies slightly depending on the provinces you're in. Certain provinces allow a GDIP, which is a fast track to becoming a CPA. Other provinces do not offer that, and you have to go through the entire 6 modules to become a CPA, and that would roughly take about 2 years to complete. Once you complete all the modules and have the sufficient practical experience required, can you be considered a CPA?